तो जयं मुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for taking out your most precious time to study Bhagavad Gita together. I'm very, very grateful to all of you. Is there a particular verse in anyone's mind they want to talk about or discuss, or should I take something which I had on my mind? Okay, I guess I'll take this. Chapter 6. So we'll read one or two verses from chapter 6 today, which is entitled Dhyana Yoga. It is, as you know, Gita has 18 chapters. Chapter 6 is entitled Dhyana Yoga, which is about 36 verses. Today we'll try to learn a formula by which Krishna will never be lost to us, and we will never be lost to him. That means we'll always be in him and he'll always be in us. Anyone wants to know that secret formula? Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes.
Yes. We all want to know that, right? It's given in many, many verses of Bhagavad Gita, but 6.30 specifically talks about that. But before we go to 6.30, we will cover 6.29. Okay, so we'll try to cover these two verses today, 6.29 and 6.30. Okay, I'm going to share my screen so you all can also participate in reading, and can do this together. Sarvabhutastam atmanam sarvabhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshanaha. Anyone would like to try to recite the Sanskrit? It's on the screen.
I can try, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mother.
सर्वभूतास्थम् आत्मानं सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि इक्षते योगा युक्तात्मा सर्वत्र समादर्शना. Hare Krishna.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. A true yogi observes me in all beings, and also sees everything being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, would anyone like to read the purport, the first paragraph? Says Nidhi, Mataji, you want to try? If you're in a position to read,
Sure, Prabhuji. A
please.
Krishna conscious yogi is the perfect seer because he sees Krishna, the Supreme, situated in everyone's heart as Super Soul Paramatma. Isvara Sarvah Bhutanam Hridayase Arjuna Tisthati. The Lord in his Paramatma feature is situated within both the heart of the dog and that of a Brahmana. The perfect yogi knows that the Lord is eternally transcendental and is not materially affected by his presence in either a dog or a Brahman. That is the supreme neutrality of the Lord. The individual soul is also situated in the individual heart, but he is not present in all hearts. That is the distinction between the individual soul and the super soul. One who is not factually in the practice of yoga cannot see so clearly. A Krishna conscious person can see Krishna in the heart of both the believer and the non believer. In the Smriti, that is confirmed as follows Atatvavak sa matravak sa atma hi parmo hari. The Lord, being the source of all the beings, is like the mother and the maintainer. As the mother is neutral to all different kinds of children, the Supreme Father or Mother is also. Consequently, the super soul
My
is
teacher's message
always
పెట్టు.
in every living being. Should I go ahead with the next para as well?
Let's see if anyone else also would like to read. Thank you, Nidhi Mataji, for reading.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anyone else wants to read these two small stanzas?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can. Sorry, go on, Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can
Yes.
read, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranamam to Srila Prabhupada. Outwardly, also, every living being is situated in the energy of the Lord. As will be explained in the 7th chapter, the Lord has primarily two energies, the spiritual or superior and the material or inferior. The living entity, although part of the superior energy, is conditioned by the inferior energy. The living entity is always in the Lord's energy. Every living entity is situated in Him in one way or another. The yogis see equally because he sees that all living entities, although in different situations, according to the results of fruity work, in all circumstances remains the servant of God. While in the material energy, the living entity serves the material senses, and while in the spiritual energy, he serves the Supreme Lord directly. In either case, the living entity is the servant of God. This vision of equality is perfect in a person in Krishna consciousness. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Radhavirani Mataji, for reading this section. Isn't such a beautiful verse here? A true yogi, referring to a bhakti yogi, that's a topmost of all yogis, observes me in all beings, every aspect of life, or even inanimate matter, and sees every being in me, because everything is ultimately coming from the Supreme Lord. That self-realized person sees me, the Supreme Lord, everywhere. And we read the beautiful purport also. It reminds me of a story. Before I share, I'll again offer prayers to the Guru Parampara and to all the Vaishnavas. Guruve Gaurachandraya, Radhikaya Tadalaye, Krishnaya, Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya, Namo Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim, Yat Kripatam Ham Vande Shri Guru Tarinam. Hare Krishna. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. It is said, we don't see things as they are, right? We see things as we are. For example, if different people see a rose, they'll see with different, a lust-struck young person will see, oh, let me offer this to my girlfriend or boyfriend, right? What a beautiful rose. Artist will see, wow, such a beautiful rose, such Krishna or God is amazing. The creator is so amazing. How can this rose? I have a tough time making this rose on a 2D drawing, but God or whoever the creator is has made this such brilliantly. And not only it is 3D, look at the life in there, look at the fragrance, look at the beauty of that rose. So the artist is appreciating the the supreme artist, God. A devotee will see, wow, such a beautiful rose. How beautiful it will look when I offer these lotus petals or the rose petals to Krishna. Or how I wish I put this rose in the hands of Radharani so she can offer to Krishna. Or how I wish I make a beautiful garland of roses using this one rose and many other such roses. A person in the mode of ignorance will say, well, where is my alcohol? I don't need to worry. What this rose? What's special? Like there are flowers everywhere. Let me just sleep and, be intoxicated. See, the rose didn't change. What changed? The consciousness of the person who was observing that rose. So similarly, the ISKCON society or the Bhakti society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is to help us to develop that spiritual consciousness from material to spiritual consciousness so that we can see things in their true perspective. And that will only come when we see through the lens of bhakti. One of the definitions of spiritual life is also to do the right things at the right time, using the right tools. So the point here is that a devotee sees the hand of the Supreme Lord in every aspect of life. And in every being, he or she sees the hand of God, which is Paramatma, the super soul, is situated in everyone's heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. This comes in 18th chapter, and in similar verse comes in the 15th chapter, Sarvasya chaham hridis sannivishto. I'm present in the region of the heart, Krishna says. Which is this verse? The Lord is present in the heart of the dog and the Brahmana. Which verse is that? Anyone knows? Very famous verse. A yogi sees with equal vision an elephant, a dog, a chandala, a Brahmana. 5.18 Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shopake Cha Pandita Samadarshina. Pandita, an intelligent person or a Krishna conscious person, sees with equal vision. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also we are reading this section. We were covered this yesterday. Seeing with equal vision. Yesterday, Krishna was telling to the gopis, when gopis asked, there are 4 kinds of people, or 3 kinds. One are, if someone does good to them, they will do good, because they have swartha, right? Do good, get good. Do bad, get bad. So tit for tat. Not the best, but that's how they respond. The next kind, even if someone does good, they are ungrateful. They will give back. They are inimical even to their guru. They are inimical to their superiors. They are envious. They're inimical to the very people. They bite the very hand which feeds them. Krishna is saying, in paraphrased word, of course. And the third are pure souls. They give their best, that is kindness, compassion, even to ungrateful people. So you see how the response also changes when we have a lens, a spiritual lens to see things and to see people. This verse is not just to seeing Paramatma. Because just imagine it, just head knowledge will not be sufficient. How different our attitude, our response will be when we truly mean what this verse is telling. That every jiva, every being is Paramatma is sitting in their heart. So how we talk to them, how we respond, how we behave, uh, how is our attitude towards them, is our attitude towards God, Krishna. That is that is that is a whole paradigm shift, is it not? Right? Our attitude will be so different. Just imagine if God is sitting in front of us, how will we respond to him? Hmm? Won't our response change? Certainly, right? So this is the spiritual vision. This is the spiritual consciousness. And it happens by the practice of bhakti yoga. Hmm. That the super soul is always in every living being. Whether one is young or old, male or female, rich or poor. So how different our attitude will be. How different our words will be. Remembering that Krishna is present in their heart also, the same Lord. We are the same brother, sister. We're the same children of God. These days, people are fighting on the name of religion, on the name of rich and poor, on the name of the color of the skin, on the name of citizenship. So many factors to divide people. Bhakti unites. Material energy divides, or the material consciousness divides. Spiritual consciousness unites. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, when he came, he gave a class in Tampa on Janmashtami, I recall. He said, very, very beautiful point. We need to build bridges to unite, not walls to divide. So there may be a lot of factors that we may find that, oh, this person is different from me. The color of the skin is different, or the language is different. But Prabhupada built the house in which the whole world can live peacefully. Why and how? Spiritual consciousness. That we are all the children of the same Father. Bijaham sarva bhutanam. Krishna says, I am the seed, Pita, Amasya Jagato, Mata Dhata Pitamaha. So Krishna is that seed-giving Father. And if we all understand that, imagine the world will become such a beautiful spiritual family, is it not? Everyone will be kind and caring, or should be kind. What to speak of these days, neighbors or acquaintance, or when brothers of the same child father are fighting. This is not our property. In India, about 70% of the court cases are for legal property matters. And for what? For the inheritance. Brothers and sisters fighting over the share of property. You may have heard, you may have experienced in your family or distant family or somewhere. Everywhere it is there. 70-75% of the cases in India are on this matter. It's so unfortunate. So the vision of equality is perfect in a Krishna conscious person. And this is the vision Krishna wants us to build. This is the vision of a servant of God. To see things in their true perspective, or to see everyone in their true perspective. This is bhakti. This is Krishna consciousness. This will lead to harmony. This will lead to happiness. This will lead to peace. This will improve our behavior towards everyone. Will we shout if God is in front of us? Will we say unkind words to anyone if we understand, oh, God is there in their heart? Not just theoretically. Will we have any ill intentions or resentment, grudges towards anyone. If we see, oh, God is there, my Supreme Lord is in everyone's heart. How we deal with others is how we deal with Krishna or God. How different our world will be, how different our words will be, how different our actions will be if we follow this in our lives. And my dear friends and devotees, well-wishers, this is the formula. Krishna says, for one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost. We were asking, we want to know how to never be lost to Krishna and how Krishna will never be lost to us. This is the formula, that vision of equality. Now, the vision of equality does not mean that we lose our, discrimination and start kissing a snake. Oh, alligator in Florida, also child of God. Let me go very close. Let me go embrace a tiger. No, that's not the vision of equality. We should not be foolish. So, but we should respect everyone. It doesn't mean that we start embracing a snake. Let's take any thoughts or comments in the previous verse, and then we'll talk about this verse. Any thoughts? Anything struck you in 629, which we just read a few minutes back? 6.29. Some of you joined late, so we will reread the translation just for the benefit of those who joined late, and then Nita Mataji can speak her thoughts. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. This is a translation. Yes, Anita Mataji, you had some thoughts, please.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. I was just sharing about one of the things we read today in NVC. So we read that by nature the soul is like kind of like, I'm just telling the meaning of it, how I understood. So the nature of the soul is not to be aggressive or to be loving, but it is the conditioning that we are in that kind of like brings in us all the vices. And this is where, like with the practice of bhakti yoga, like you mentioned, I mean, I just got this thought that we can try to overcome those conditioning and try to just be our real self, like, and reach to our true nature that we are meant for. So I just could connect from what I read in the morning and the statement you just mentioned. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you. That's a beautiful point. Yeah, by nature we are Anandamaya Bhyasat. We are pleasure-seeking beings. No one is looking for challenges or like arguments, fighting, sadness, moroseness. We are pleasure-seeking beings because that's the nature of the soul, to be joyful, right? But due to this material entanglements or being in the spell of the exterior energy, also called the material energy, we are so caught up because here. Thank you. And that's how the bhakti yoga process does the cleansing. So we're under a shower. The dirt of material energy or samsara will get cleansed by bathing in the Ganges of Bhagavad Gita and the holy name. Any other thoughts, comments in the last text? Okay, let's read 6.30 also, and then we'll move forward. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra. By the way, this is a beautiful verse if anyone wants to remember also. This is something to memorize also. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, sa chamena pranashyati. One or two of you would like to recite in a position, whoever is in a position to. Please unmute or raise hand, whatever is easy.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mata.
Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvacha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sa cha me na pranashyati. Hare Hare.
Thank you. Yes, Ikant Prabhu, you want to try?
Thank you, Babaji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pashyati tasyaham na pashyami sa cha me na pranashyati. Sorry, pranashyati.
Yes, you can read further as well. Here.
Yeah. Thank you, Babaji. For one who sees me everywhere and see everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. Thank you, Babaji.
Thank you so much. Who has not read yet anything, would like to read?
I can read, bro.
Oh, yes, Gandhi Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. But there might be background noise, so I'm not sure if to hear.
No worries, Shravan Mataji. Gandhi Prabhu will read, and that's okay.
A person in Krishna conscious certainly sees Lord Krishna everywhere and he sees everything in Krishna. Such a person may appear to see all separate manifestations of the material nature, but in each and every instance he is conscious of Krishna, knowing that everything is manifestation of Krishna's energy. Nothing can exist without Krishna, and Krishna is the Lord of everything. This is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the development of love of Krishna, a position transcendental even to material liberation. At this stage of Krishna consciousness, beyond self-realization, the devotee becomes one with Krishna in the sense that Krishna becomes everything for the devotee, and the devotee becomes full in loving Krishna. An intimate relationship between the Lord and the devotee then exists. In that stage, the living entity can never be annihilated, nor is the personality of Godhead ever out of the sight of the devotee. To merge in Krishna is spiritual annihilation. A devotee takes no such risk. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.38. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, the last section. Anyone would like to complete this? Who's in a position from here?
If no one is reading, Prabhuji, I can try.
Okay.
Okay, I can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Pray, प्रेमाज्ञा च पूरिता भक्तिविलोचनेन संता सदैव हृदयासु विलोक्यन्ति। ये कार्पण्य 200 वाला टून है क्या प्रभु जी?
Brahma Samhita. Premanjachurita bhakti vilocanena Santa sadeva hridayeshu vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I worship the primeval Lord Govinda, who is always seen by the devotee whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love. He is seen in his eternal form of Syam Sundar, suited within the heart of the devotee. At this stage, Lord Krishna never disappears from the sight of the devotee, nor does the devotee ever lose sight of the Lord. In the case of a yogi who sees the Lord as Paramatma within the heart, the same applies. Such a yogi turns into a pure devotee and cannot bear to live for a moment without seeing the Lord within himself. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Such a beautiful purport. Each and every word, so much like worth contemplating and meditating. Krishna consciousness is the development of love of Krishna. This line can, we can talk about it for so long. We may say, oh, we are following Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna consciousness? It is the development of love of Krishna. Are we developing love of Krishna, love for Krishna? This is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness. What is the basic principle? That nothing can exist without Krishna. And when we say nothing, Krishna is a Lord and Krishna is a Lord of everything. Bhoktaram yaggi tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram. He's a Lord, he's a master, he's a proprietor, he's the controller of everything. Whether it's animate or inanimate, material or spiritual. Krishna consciousness is not mean development of so many other things. We may be in Krishna conscious movement, but still may lose the goal. What is the goal? To develop love for Krishna. This is the purpose Prabhupada started the Krishna Conscious Society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And what is Krishna consciousness? To develop love for Krishna, which is the highest, prema pumartho mahan. After in the beginning we have some thought and understanding, but sometimes as time may pass, we may lose focus from the goal. Therefore, reading Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada's purport, Prabhupada's translation, etc. is so important. Even a basic, simple line, which we may have read multiple times in the past also, is so important. And in that stage, the stage is not easy, which what is mentioned here, basically we are talking about the pure devotees, we're talking about the gopis. An intimate relationship between the Lord and then the devotee exists, right? That they cannot, in that stage, the living entity can never be annihilated, nor is the Supreme Personality of Godhead ever out of the sight of the devotee. Wasn't that the gopis' mood? They were having hard time forgetting Krishna. Oh Brahma, why have you created this eyebrows? Even for a tiny moment of a fraction of a second, we're not able to see when Krishna is in front of us, and that's a disturbance. That is what Krishna consciousness means. That is what loving Krishna means. To see everything in me and me in everything. Everything, everywhere. That's what we see in the Narsingharti. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha Narasingamadim Sharanam Prapadye. Right? Isn't that beautiful? Prahlad Maharaj was in that consciousness. Asked by Hiranyakashipu, where is your God? Where is your Narsingha? He said, well, he's everywhere. Is he in the pillar? Yes, of course, he's everywhere. स्थावर जंगम न देखी देखी तारो मूर्ति सर्वत्र होय इष्ट देव स्फूर्ति. A pure devotee sees everything in connection with God. We discussed the example of the flower, the rose flower. I'll share some more examples to see the hand of God in every aspect of life. Here also Prabhupada mentions the example of the Premanja Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. When one has the mascara of love of God, then he or she will see everything in that connection. For example, if I have glasses and instead of the clear glasses, I have blue glasses. Okay, I have blue glasses, imagine. So I have this is a white object, but how will it appear to me? It will appear blue. This is also a non-blue object, but it will appear to me as blue. Is that the object is blue or my vision is blue or the lens with which I'm seeing is blue? Similarly, when we change the lens with which we see things, or basically develop that spiritual lens or spiritual sight, Shastra Chakshu, also called as Shastra Chakshu, or Jnana Chakshu, Bhakti Chakshu, more important, when we see with the Bhakti lens, then we will see things in the true perspective that, oh, Krishna is the one who is the supreme orchestrator, supreme creator, supreme controller. Even a tiny thing cannot move without him. How are these planets moving in their respective orbits? How are the sun and the moon functioning? If there is a master controller, that is Krishna. How are the jivas? How are the tiny baby grows in the womb, and it's so intricate. No one is able to figure it out. And each cell is so minute. It has like information about thousands and thousands of like books in a library. How can that be feasible? He's a perfect controller, perfect creator, very, very intelligent. And that's Krishna. So, seeing the hand of God in every aspect. I'll tell a funny story. You may have heard this story maybe in the past. So, non-devotees see spirit and they think of matter. I'll repeat that. Or someone can someone repeat that? And devotees see matter and they think of spirit. Did everyone get that? Who can repeat it in a paraphrased way? But people with materialistic vision see matter, see even spiritual things, but they see matter. For example, they go to a temple and say, well, what is so special? These crazy people are worshipping some dolls as God, and that's nonsense. What they're seeing? They're seeing some stone, they're seeing some dolls, they're seeing some statues or marble. They're not seeing God because of their lens, not because of the devotee sincerely worships deity, Krishna is present. But if a materialistic person comes, their lens is improper. They're not able to see that. So a non-devotee or a materialistic person or a person with materialistic vision is going to see even spiritual things in the light of matter. But a devotee, a person with spiritual lens, Jnana Chakshu, Bhakti Chakshu, will see even material aspects with a spiritual lens. Example, I'll give a few Prabhupada anecdotes. One time, Prabhupada was walking in a morning walk in Mayapur, and the water was running. The water was just like running loose from some faucet. And Prabhupada became serious. Don't you see? Referring to some of his disciples. Maybe they saw it while Prabhupada is seeing some maybe Leela of the Lord and peacocks and Krishna dancing or something. He got little, like devotees were like, what? We don't see, like maybe we're missing something, maybe we don't have that spiritual vision. Prabhupada, what are we supposed to see? He said, look at that water running loose. It's getting wasted. It's the energy of the Lord. It's getting wasted. Go, turn that off. Why the water should be wasted? Bhumira punalo vayukham mano buddhirevacha ankara itiyam mishan bhinna prakriti ashtada. It's the energy of the Lord. Why should be wasted? So even if like a loose water faucet, Prabhupada was seeing with the spiritual vision. So devotees see the matter also in a spiritual lens. One time, just funny story time. One time, a sadhu was giving a class, and sadhu had a beard, like a long beard. Some sadhus have. And like if the sadhu was moving a little bit here, there, so the beard was also moving. And he was giving class, and one lady is like so absorbed. She started crying. Oh, tears were pouring. And sadhu felt, wow, maybe she's understanding tattva. Maybe she's having higher taste. Maybe she's, really like so absorbed in hearing Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Katha, and whatnot. The class was over, everyone kind of left, and she came to the sadhu after the end. And sadhu asked, well, Mata, wow, what happened? You were so bhavya bore, you were crying like anything, and what happened? And she said, well, I was so absorbed seeing your beard because just 2 days back I lost my goat, and your beard was reminding me of my goat. Sadhu asked, did you hear it or something? No, I was so absorbed in your beard because the beard was reminding me of my goat. You see, the sadhu was there giving Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Katha, but this lady was absorbed in remembering the goat. So many people go to Holy Dham or go to holy place, but they are still in their office mentally. They're still in their business. So we have to be mindful. What do we see here? Any thoughts, responses? What do you see?
Sweatshirt with the
Huh?
Gap logo. Sweatshirt with the Gap logo.
Okay, like an exclusive sweatshirt, branded sweatshirt. Okay, Gap sweatshirt. What else? Anyone sees?
A yellow color cloth.
Yellow cloth. Okay, winter cloth, yellow cloth. Okay, anyone else?
Prabhuji, are you able to hear me?
Yes, Mat.
So the yellow, for a devotee, the yellow will remind the devotee of the Pitambar of Krishna.
Oh, that's beautiful, right? Pitambara, Vastradhari, Krishna is Pitambar. Okay, anyone else wants to share thoughts?
Prabhuji, just one more thought came.
Yes, Mata.
So the gap would remind us of the gap between our devotion and where our devotion needs to be.
That's also quite thoughtful. I need to fill the gap between my spiritual life, or the gap between material to spiritual, and to make that jump. His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj or senior devotee saw that, gap. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham. Right? GAP. Right? When devotee saw Adi Das, Adi Das. Oh, that's our real position, to be Adi Das, to be servant, eternal servant. Yes. Right? So you see a material brand of shoe or clothing, whatever, Adidas. So this thing Adidas, right? We are eternal servant. So many aspects of life we can see Krishna, right? We need to train ourselves, right? We need to train ourselves. It will not come naturally. Naturally, what will come? Naturally, we are not trained in that consciousness, unfortunately. We are so caught up in this world. His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj was going to different, city, and he saw, wow, this city has a lot of temples of Lord Nrsimhadev. And devotees were confused because they were not aware of any temple of Nrsimhadev. And he was reading nursing home, nursing home, nursing home, home of Nrsimhadev. It's like temple of nurse. But nursing home, they were referring to the hospital is also called as nursing home, right? So he was saying, wow, this city is so beautiful. There's so many Nrsimhadev temples. And there are countless such examples. Countless examples in the past, in our scriptures, and in our current aspect also, current life also. If we learn to see this with this vision, we learn to see then world will become so beautiful. You'll feel the hand of God in every aspect. And that's what we read. That person will never be lost to me, and I'll never be lost to him or her. That's what bhakti means. That's what pure bhakti means. This is the formula to never lose Krishna, to be Krishna conscious, to have that vision, to have that consciousness, to have that lens of life, to have that bhakti lens, to have that loving devotional service. Bhakti is also loving devotional service with love, with gratitude. And world will become so beautiful. Magic will happen every moment, right? We go to book distribution and we feel the magic. We can feel the magic. How Krishna will send the right people if we see you. If we feel, oh, I have come here to deliver these people, these are fallen, I am great. No, we are missing the point. Even we are doing book distribution, but the lens is not spiritual. But if we feel, I'm so fortunate to be an instrument to help my brother or sister and be an instrument of mercy, because someone helped me and this is my duty, my dharma, to reciprocate, then we'll see with a different lens and we'll feel blessed and fortunate if someone accepts our tiny service. Thank you for giving me a chance to serve. All of you are so noble. You are giving me a chance to be of some service by reading, hearing, discussing Bhagavad Gita. I'm not doing anything great for you. I'm so blessed and fortunate that you are all giving your Sangha and giving me chance to share something for my purification. This is the spiritual lens, the lens of humility, Trinadapi Sunicham, the lens of gratitude, the lens of devotional service, the lens of loving devotional service, the lens of bhakti, the lens of equality, the lens of being non-judgmental to anyone, the lens of Jiva Daya, loving compassion. that person will always be connected with Krishna at all times, at all places, in all situations, no matter he or she may be in any part of the world, in any aspect of life. As I said, some people could be in Vrindavan, but they may be not be in Vrindavan because their consciousness is somewhere. And some people could be in any city, Tampa, New York, Boston, Australia, Chicago. They may be busy, they may have maybe an office, but they may be still in Krishna consciousness. Why? Because of the spiritual lens. And bhakti is all about that, to develop spiritual lens. So I'll take pause here and share one verse from Bhagavatam, and then we'll take some comments and questions and then wrap up. Who would like to read this verse and the translation? Just anyone?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mata.
Shri Haviruvach Sarvabhutesh Ya Pashed Bhagvat Bhavmatmana Bhutani Bhavya Bhavatyat Manyesh Bhagavatottama. Sri Havir said, the most advanced devotee sees within everything the soul of all souls, the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Consequently, he sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord and understands that everything that exists is eternally situated within the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Sarvabhuteshu ya pashyed. One who sees. Pashya means to see. Sarvabhuteshu, in every aspect, in every one. Bhagavad Bhavam. Bhagavad Bhavam. Basically, Krishna consciousness. Bhagavan consciousness. Atmanaha. Bhutani Bhagavati Atmani. So everything connected to Krishna or in relation to Krishna. Esha Bhagavata. Aisa Bhagavat Uttamaha is topmost. Such kind of devotee is the most advanced. Who is the most advanced? Who sees everything, who sees within everything with Krishna. And he sees everything in relation to Krishna. That Bhagavat is Uttama. That devotee is top class. So we need to train our eyes. It's not an overnight process. But it's certainly doable, and that's what we are here for, to develop love of God. So just to wrap up, seeing everything in relation to Krishna, everything in me and Krishna in everything, that person will never be lost to God or Krishna, and Krishna will never be lost to him. Reciprocal relationship. Hare Krishna. Any thoughts, comments, feedback, or questions we can take for next few minutes and then pause. Anything struck you? Anything you want to reiterate? Any question? Please share something. You're also noble souls.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So I have a comment, Prabhu, that you mentioned about the sweatshirt gap on Govinda Madhapurisham. That was really striking, Prabhuji. So as a devotee, we can see any material thing, we can connect it to Krishna. So even we see a tree, when we see an ant, we know that 84 lakh species are there. So every living entity which is moving, which has a soul in it, so it has a consciousness. So the steps of getting into the higher level of consciousness and getting into bhakti and getting the human species, it's very, very rare. The very rare opportunity as a devotee in human form. So that's what struck me, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mata. You live in the Govinda community, right? There's a sign outside your community. It says
Yes,
go.
Prabhu. Born we die, it says Govinda.
Yeah. Whenever I read that, somehow I read it as Govinda. Thank you. Okay, anyone else has thoughts, questions? Nidhi Mataji, you unmuted. You had something to share?
No, Prabhuji, I'm good.
Thank you for joining. Is this your first time, right? Kind of?
Yes, Prabhuji. First
In a
time.
long while.
Yeah, in a long while. Yeah,
Okay, make this recurring.
sure, sure, sure.
Please, we'll be blessed to have your association.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I'll be blessed at the same time. Yeah, would really want to make this association like on a daily basis. Yeah.
By reading your name, I'm reminded of Nidhi one in Vrindavan.
Oh, yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Thank you. All of you have such beautiful spiritual names. Yes, Anita Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, I was just going to share that point we read in 6.29 Purport about the soul can just see self, but since Paramatma is sitting in everybody's heart, he can see everybody. So, like how I was connecting with my own thought here is that since like we cannot see like anybody else other than our own self, so better to focus on self and and then see everybody else as Paramatma. And because if we don't develop that vision, we might not be seeing it correctly. And at the same time, if we don't see others correctly, it impacts us also. So the way we see others, it also, give us some kind of impression for ourselves also, like we carry forward. Uh, let's say if you are seeing negative things in others, so the similar negativity can be in us also. So I was just trying to correlate with that point with my own realization. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, please add if I, misstated anything.
No, very, very valid and thoughtful points you shared. I was attending a seminar this weekend and the devotees were sharing, and I fully agree that we see things not as they are. We see things as we are. For example, if I have diabetes problem and someone is eating gulab jamun in front of me, hey, Baba, why are you eating gulab jamun? You'll get diabetes and whatnot. And well, he's young and healthy. What's your problem? Because I'm seeing it. The world is a reflection of our own consciousness. The world is a reflection of our own consciousness. This reminds me of another story of a mirror house. One time a dog went to a mirror house. Have you seen circus or some kind of like mela, some fair mirror house, like concave, convex, different types of mirrors, and here and there, everywhere, like a jigsaw puzzle. This dog was in a very, very beautiful and happy and joyful mood. And he was like wobbling his tail and wiggling his tail, and the all the images were wiggling, and then he was jumping, and all the images were, or the reflections were jumping. And he came out so happy. Wow, this place is so nice and beautiful with loving friends, caring people. Mm, beautiful. He told his friend, hey, go to that place. It's so amazing. It's so beautiful. It was so friendly people. And this guy had a tough conversation with his wife that day. And he went there in a growling mode and barking loudly, and these other dogs are barking at him. And he's like looking at him a fierce look, and the other dogs are giving him a fierce look. And he came out even more angry. Right? So basically, the world is a reflection of our own consciousness. And that is what we are here. It is not, our natural consciousness is pure. As Prahlad Maharaj said, Naisargiki Rati, but due to being conditioned, we are conditioned jivas. But it's not permanent conditioning. That's why we are here. So the more sincerely and seriously we follow the bhakti process, we will come back to our true consciousness, which is loving, pure, selfless, all the divine qualities. Thank you, Mata, for sharing that. Any other last comments anyone has before we wrap up? Nandi Prabhu?
Yeah, all our troubles are because of our reactions, Prabhu. So if we start looking at Krishna everywhere, our reactions will come down.
Our reaction or response, how we respond to the situation.
Right. Our reaction like negative reactions that will come down automatically.
Or bad responses.
Bad responses, right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And we see that my wife is also representative of God, or my husband is representative of God. We'll be very mindful of how we treat them. And we see every devotee is a representative of God, children, parents, everyone, neighbors. Then Krishna says, how you treat others is how you treat me. Right? Many gurus also say this. How you treat other Vaishnavas is how you should treat your guru is how you should treat other Vaishnavas. Many Guru Maharajas say that. Because Guru is not, once in a year meet Guru, you are great, you are this, you are that, take this, eat Chappan Bhoga. But to others, you are kind and uncaring. No, he won't like it. That's not nice. So, very thoughtful point. We should be mindful, in short, of our responses and think how we act. Our relationship with Krishna depends on our relationship with others. Is it not? Because Krishna is there in every jiva, right? We cannot be the best friends of everyone, but we must always respect everyone. Respect all. Simple. Trust few. Respect all. Trust. We may not be able to trust all. That is fine. We're not saying to trust everyone. Trust few, genuine souls. Develop genuine friendship with some. But don't disrespect anyone. Don't put down anyone. Don't be unkind or harsh to anyone. That Krishna will not like. Okay, so I've said a lot. Now I beg for prayers so that all of you can pray. You're all very, very noble, sincere devotees. So please pray so that I can try to follow and we all can try to follow what we read, heard. Speaking is easy, reading is easy, understanding is a little harder, but application is the most important. So think of for this verse, this week at least, this verse to remain in our consciousness that I need to see more things in connection to Krishna, or more people in connection to Krishna and more things. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshe. By somehow or the other everything can be connected to Krishna because everything is connected to Krishna. And now I have to find that missing link. If I'm not able to find that, I'll try, I'll seek, I'll try. Seek, you shall find. So seek, we shall find. The link is there. It may take time, but we'll find. Thank you, everyone. I am very grateful for your Sangha, for your beautiful comments, reading, reflections, and we will continue reading. And thank you so much. So we'll pause here. Rantraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Gita Upanishad ki jai, Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you.